James Smith made over $200,000 last month without any sales calls or selling in the DMs. How? Well, in this video, we're going to deep dive into his business and break down the lead generation systems that fill his pipeline, the warm-up sequence that turns cold leads into ready-to-buy leads on autopilot, and the secret strategies that turn those warm leads into paying clients. So, despite successfully building a large audience of 2 million plus across social media channels, James decided to quit it all and build a completely new audience. You see, content exists on a reach versus depth continuum that attracts different types of audiences. For reach, you're trying to get the most eyeballs on your brand so that people know who you are. It's just like casting a wide net when fishing. You can catch a lot of fish, but they may not be what you're looking for. The audience type are more cold, casual, and are going to be first-time viewers. With depth, the goal is to deepen trust, demonstrate expertise, and nurture relationships. Kind of like tending to a garden. Each plant needs water, sunlight, and time to grow. These leads are more warm and engaged, and have a higher chance of buying your product or service from you because they've spent more time viewing your content. And creating content for reach has been what James has been doing for most of his career as a PT. And he's made a ton of money doing so, right around that $13.6 million mark. Just recently, he stopped making reach content and started to go all in on depth content, netting him somewhere north of 2.4 million in just around 14 months, which is right around that $170,000 a month mark. And that number continues to grow. Right now, he's doing roughly around $7,000 a day, which equates to $210,000 per month. Pretty crazy, right? So here's how he gets leads. Number one is his use of meta ads. So if you actually go to a new tab and type meta ads library, you'll actually find the ads library or the database that Facebook or Meta uses to house all of the ads that are currently active. You could check any country you want. So I'm in the United States, ad category, I'm going to do all ads, and then I'm just going to search James Smith right here. Just click on his name. And then here you could really just see all the different ads that he's running, where they're running to. So if you hit the learn more here, it'll take you to wherever tab it's going to or wherever it links to and all that type of stuff. You can see all the ad creative, all the copy, and just really whatever you need to build a solid ad. The next part is actually YouTube long form. So this is really the foundation of his lead generation. So if you look at his YouTube channel, he posts tons of videos about just anything business, right? So 7,000, 25,000 views, 7.7 thousand views, 16,000 views, 10,000 views, 14,000 views. You kind of get the point, right? And it's really just to attract the audience that he wants through his content that goes really in depth. So you can see here, he goes over how to go over content, this one right here. Harsh reality that lies behind every online business guru. Marketing, going over marketing, more online sales, just other random stuff. And he's really going into depth and showing his expertise. And then the third pillar of his lead generation system is Instagram short form. So through his YouTube long form, he actually clips videos through a software called Opus Clip or Opus Pro. And he repurposes that content into short form videos on Instagram, right? So you can see here, this is Instagram. Go to his Reels, and you can see all of this content here is just from his YouTube content, right? So you can see here, he's averaging pretty good amount of views, 5,000, 8,000, 7,000, 15,000. And a lot of these views are just extra views on his long form content. So they'll see the reel, they'll go into it, they'll check it out. And this is another form of his lead generation. So if we actually look at this spreadsheet here, let's say his average YouTube video views are 7,500, 7,500, right? And then the number of clips that he can create from one single YouTube video, let's say 3. The average Instagram reel views that he would get from posting these clips would be, let's say, 5,000. And so the total average Instagram views from all of those clips created combined, posted on Instagram, would get roughly 15,000. So 5,000 times 3, essentially. And then the total views, which is the YouTube video views added on top of that, are 22,500, which would actually equal a multiple of 3x of total views. So it's essentially taking that sawdust of creating the YouTube video and using that to turn it into something more valuable, which is tripling your total views of that video. But it's not the amount of leads that comes through the door that dictates the success of his business. It's really James' ability to turn those cold leads into leads that are ready to buy from him. It's kind of like trying to tame a wild animal. They're not going to immediately be comfortable around you right after seeing you. Certain conditions have to be met before that happens. You may offer them some food, some water, some shelter, but they won't take it on the first try. And this is the same thing in the online coaching space. People aren't going to buy from you right away. It takes time to get them to know, like, and trust you. And the best way to really do this is to give the viewers things of value to them, just like water, shelter, and food for the wild animal. And that's only possible through a content ecosystem like what James has. And so here's what his content ecosystem really looks like. So first, they may land on a short form video, and then they go through the ManyChat sequence. If you kind of look at his reels, he'll have one here. Comment the word take right here. So it's comment a keyword, the ManyChat then comes in and automates that and sends each person that says take, sends them a DM that redirects them to the video. They then go to the YouTube video. They may watch a YouTube video, 2, 3, 4 YouTube videos, and then go into the YouTube description, and then go to the, and then sign up for his newsletter. And then maybe from his newsletter, they'll read 2 or 3 emails over the next couple of days, and then they'll join a course. And then maybe they go back to the YouTube, get more value, go back to the newsletter, and then go back to some other courses, and just get a whole bunch of value that way, right? Some examples of this can be, maybe they land on a YouTube video, they watch the YouTube video, they have the positive reinforcement, and they like you. They join your newsletter, they go through a course, then they make the purchase on your main offer. Or they go through the short form, they go through the ManyChat automation, they go to the YouTube video, they watch 2 more YouTube videos and then purchase. Or they just watch 1 YouTube video, they go to a course, they go through the course, and then they purchase, right? So it's not a fixed thing where they have to go to YouTube and then they have to go to the email. It's more of like whatever works for them and how they want to consume the value over time. And so maybe it takes a month for someone to get enough value to make the purchase for the main offer. Or maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe 3 days. It really depends on the customer, right? And so once we have lead flow and a predictable way to warm up those leads, how do we actually convert those warm leads into actual paying clients? Well, in this section, we're going to go over James' sales page and some of the interesting strategies that he employs to make the offer so good that people feel stupid saying no. So jumping straight into the overall structure of the sales page is pretty simple, right? It's 4 things. Number 1, what the program or offer is. Number 2, what people are saying about it. Number 3, what you get when you buy. And then number 4, how much it costs. So let's just jump right in. Number 1, what the program or offer is, right? So it's typically going to be very simple. You land on a landing page and it's going to be a headline and then a subheadline. So headline, subheadline right here. And then one thing I also like is that he also has this little spot at the top, join 7,000 plus online coaches and business owners, which increases the authority and credibility of the product or service because 7,000 plus other online coaches and business owners have used the product. Really strong headline, the step-by-step how-to guide for transforming an hourly rate session into a hugely successful online business. So he's outlining that gap, right? So maybe the prospect right now has hourly rate sessions and maybe they want to create a hugely successful online business. Really outlining that gap for them is going to essentially outline the promise of their product or service, turning your hourly rate sessions into a successful online business. This is a blueprint that I've created and followed to dominate when it comes to not only, and then the things that you kind of get in the service, creating an audience, but nurturing that audience into communities of thousands that will purchase your products and services from you year on year indefinitely. Something that the prospect would want, which is people buying their products and services year over year indefinitely. And then he outlines, if you join the product or service, you will have less of the bad stuff, which is no more walking the floor, no more being in debt, no more dropping your prices. Another clever thing that he does is that he outlines the status change when you buy the product or service. So This is the system for success. I do warn you, the other coaches in your facility won't be happy when you start dominating. So it's having that status change. Your status increases when you buy the product or service when compared to your peers. And then the overall highlight of this section, which is the video sales letter, which is essentially just him saying what the product is, who it's for, what it will help you do. And then he's also playing to his strengths, right? So he's outlining the strengths that he has. He's written 3 best-selling books. He's sold out tours. He's very big on a ton of different successful social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. And he's created multiple online 7-figure businesses. He has all that. And then he has another spot here for kind of what it is, right? So tips, tricks, trade secrets, nuances, and systems that took me from, again, outlining the gap, which is 30 pounds an hour, to multiple 7-figure businesses. So you learn how to get regular leads automatically, learn how to build your audience, and then work on your business, not just in it. And so one thing I also wanted to outline is that where people are at right now, at this landing page, right? Maybe they're making $30 an hour, and maybe they just want to make 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month. Maybe they don't want to immediately jump to multiple 7-figure businesses, right? What James did here is that he inflated the dream outcome here. So he outlining the gap, and he's inflating the right side of the gap so that it makes 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, much more attainable and much more easy to see having the product or service, because it's small in comparison to building multiple 7-figure businesses. And then the second part of the sales page is what people are saying about it. So this is probably one of the most important parts of the sales page, and it's essentially just proof. So imagine this: which chiropractor would you rather go to when trying to fix your lower back pain? The person who has 4,000 5-star reviews, or the person who has 2 5-star reviews from their parents? I think the answer is pretty clear. And this is really the same concept that James leans into when providing proof for his services. In a great quote, "You can't outmarket a bad product, and you can't scale a good product without proof." So if you want to grow, then your job becomes, how do I remove every ounce of doubt that this thing won't work? So just taking a look at all the proof, you can see there's tons of different people in here going over graphs. There's women, there's men, people wanting to increase their email list, wanting to increase their social media following, want to increase their product. And then here he has a video testimonial that you could actually watch. The third part of the sales page is pretty simple. It's just kind of going over what you get inside. So you get the business mentorship course. You go through all the modules, kind of like the videos of what you get. And then one thing that he does to actually increase the value of his offer is to add bonuses. Get my new course on short form content creation for free. So for free when you buy the business mentorship. Have you ever seen those old infomercials where it's like, you could buy this knife set, and then they say it's $27, and then they go, but wait, that's not all. And then they give you like 37 more knife sets in the same package, right? And what that does is it increases the price to value discrepancy, essentially how much you're getting in value in relation to the price, right? So it's increasing that gap and making people more likely to buy the product. And then same, just more features. Let's take your business, brand, and lifestyle to the next level. Easy to watch modules, interactive coaching community. And then the last part is actually how much it costs. So it's $2,500 for the mentorship, and then $12,500 for the 10 weeks of one-on-one coaching. And one really good thing that I like is that he gives you reasons to not say no, right? So you only need to sign one client to make your money back. And then also he says, this course is a tax write-off as well. And then scrolling down, completely optional, but you could book a discovery call to find out more about the product. If you have any questions, anything like that. And then he's going over what the mentorship is: content creation, marketing, sales, email marketing, lead pages, build community, signing clients. Again, more proof. And then another call to action to join. And then lastly, frequently asked questions, which are the most common objections that he gets when trying to sell this course or trying to sell this. He's essentially pushing people over the edge that probably are still a little confused and on the fence, but if he could include a small section that's just going over all those common objections, then he could get a tiny percentage that will make the leap. And so because James has his business set up this way, with the lead generation strategies, the content ecosystem that automatically nurtures leads from cold to warm, and the sales funnel that takes no sales calls or is very fulfillment heavy, he could really focus on the one thing that matters most for his business, which is increasing his following or posting more content. Because at the end of the day, he knows that as his following grows, so will his business. And this is really one of the main advantages that James' business has over other traditional info businesses that may be more fulfillment heavy and take sales calls. And so if you liked the video and you want to check out another business that also doesn't take sales calls and is doing roughly 100K a month, you could check out the video I did on Dan Bolton here.